Hi, folks. Andrew here, Top Fitness Strategies. I am the face who runs the place. And today we got a great interview coming at you. This is something completely different, something I've never done before. But before we get started, check out topfitnessstrategies.com. You know all about it if you've been here before. And check out the 101 at-home common sense health and fitness tips. That's right. It's an ebook I wrote on there and a lot of video demonstrations. And it's not me lifting weights or showing you how to do exercises. It's me around the house doing stuff that's going to help your health and your fitness. Check it out. I have a video over there and describe everything, what's going on. So topfitnessstrategies.com. Okay, on to the main event. Here we go. The guest I have today, Roz Place. This is different, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring her on right now. Hello, Roz. Nice to meet you again.
Hi, Andrew. Hi.
Okay. We met through a Facebook group, and after I started looking at her stuff and her podcast, I said, I need to have this lady on because she is fantastic. And this is stuff I've never talked about before. And we'll get into that in just a second. But Roz Place is a guardian angel channel, best-selling author, wife, and mom of 2 boys. Roz was born channeling angels into a family of muggles and had to navigate life with the angels without the support of her loved ones. In 2020, Roz lost her family home and the life she had worked so hard to create. She had turned her back on life's purpose. She had turned back on her life's purpose, and the result was disastrous. Breaking through her vulnerability. Ross, you're seeing my challenge here. I'm more off the cuff. Reading stuff is not my forte here. Breaking through her vulnerability. Tressarn, her guardian angel, showed her how she could focus her life purpose path together in ways that were very impossible to do by herself. Her book, Channel of Clarity, the proven way to channel your guardian angel and live your true life's passion, was the result of all this. So, and now also you can add to your resume, you are a guest on Top Fitness Strategies. Welcome, Roz.
Thank you so much for having me, Andrew. That's a lovely introduction, and thank you very much.
Lovely. Okay. Kind of butchered it a little bit. So anyway, what we're going to talk about today is because right away people are thinking guardian angel, how does that work out with fitness and health and everything else? Well, 2 of the things that Ross and I talked about, and 2 of the things that she talks about on her podcast and her YouTube channels, is weight loss and meditation, which is the 2 things we're going to focus on the most today. But at the same token, we're going to intertwine the guardian angel stuff as well. And when I use terminology, Ross, I'm going to say it up front. I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful. I don't know all the terminology that goes along with that particular industry. Fair enough?
That's great. No, very happy to answer any questions and explain anything at all. That's perfect.
Okay, so let's get this thing started the right way. Tell us about yourself and all about the guardian angels, or however you want to do the introductions here.
Yeah, sure. So I was born channeling guardian angels. So I've been channeling guardian angels for nearly 50 years now, which sounds absolutely mad when I say it, but it's true, almost 50 years. And it's been quite the journey. I grew up in a family of muggles, like you said in the introduction. And if you don't know about Harry Potter, muggles in Harry Potter are like non-magic people. So I use that as a kind of tongue-in-cheek way of saying I grew up in a family that were what I would describe as spiritually unaware. They didn't know anything about spirituality. I didn't have a grandmother that I could go and sit with and talk about spirituality. So I had to develop spiritually on my own, and I got stuck. And it was a really, really lonely path. And I spent a lot of my time growing up doing the best I could, trying to bring my spirituality into my normal life, and really bringing my spiritual and personal kind of paths together. And I spent a lot of time trying to go the opposite direction to my true path, my life's purpose, as I would call it. We all have a guardian angel who's here to help us to live our true purpose, our life purpose, which is how we're going to be the happiest, how we're going to live the most positive and abundant and healthy and well life. And in 2020, as you said, we lost everything. We lost our home, we lost our car, we lost just everything that we had worked so hard to create. And it's because I just turned my back on my purpose. And that was the point at which Tressarn, my guardian angel, said to me, instead of you working with people and showing them how to do this or doing this for them, you're going to show them how to do it. It's your path to show people how to communicate with their own guardian angels so that they can live their true purpose. And so for many years, I've worked professionally with people and helped them. And there are some really fun areas that I think really connect in terms of what you and I do. The mindset, like focus that you have, I absolutely love. And the weight loss aspect of doing something and as a byproduct losing weight, which I know is what you're all about. It's not about sitting in the gym. So that's really what spiritual development and meditation and mindset and spiritual growth really kind of comes together for us in terms of the results that it can bring.
Interesting. All right, now you open up a lot of questions that I've been trying to write them down or type them down as we go along here to make sure I don't miss any of them. One thing you said is everybody has a guardian angel. How does
Yeah.
one find their guardian angel? How does the how or is it they is that the proper terminology? You find your guardian angel, you tune into the guardian angel. What is the proper terminology for that?
Yes, great question, because often people will say they want to meet their guardian angel, but their guardian angel is always with them. Your guardian angel is with you, was with you from the moment that you were conceived. And guardian angels are beautiful coloured light ovals. And each colour in your guardian angel's oval has a vibration or a feeling or an energy, if you like, which relates to something that you've come here to be and do and have and achieve. And your guardian angel being with you is always radiating that remembering to you, something you knew before you were in a physical body, but
Mhm.
always radiating that to you. So in terms of connecting, really the connection is about being open. The connection starts with, quite surprisingly, yourself. It starts with being able to open your heart. It starts with being able to feel love. It starts with being able to feel open to something which is there to help you, believing and knowing that there is an energy with you who only exists for you. I mean, can you imagine having an energy with you, a person with you, um, a guide with you who only wants to talk about you, like only wants to talk about you, only is interested in you, only focused on you. Nothing doesn't exist for any other reason than to help you and support you. So, in answer to your question, it really starts with opening your heart up and really feeling things which you can really shut down as you live in a physical world to defend yourself in many cases.
Interesting. You see, oh man, there's so many questions. I want to go off on a tangent on that aspect because I don't know, or at least I've never understood how one would, like you said, open your heart to something. How and maybe I do this. Maybe a lot of people do this. They don't realize they're doing it. But how does a person purposely open themselves up to accepting the guardian angel? If that's
Yeah,
right.
it's such a great question. And it starts with acceptance of self. It starts with, I teach people, it's something practical that you can do by putting your hand on your chest. It's a very simple process. Putting your hand on your chest, your
Yeah.
thumb underneath your collarbone, and then saying to yourself with as much feeling as you're capable of feeling at that point in time, I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And that feels very unusual to say to begin with. That
Yeah.
feels like something which is uncomfortable for some people. It feels embarrassing or awkward for many people. But that self-acceptance, that love of who you are, that acceptance of who you are, is the beginning and the gateway of opening up to feeling that you deserve to have that kind of connection with a guide, with an energy that has come here to help you. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So do you look in the mirror when you do this, or could it be
You
like
can,
walking around your backyard and doing this, or is there a particular place you should be doing this, or anything of that sort?
the more connected to this you can be, the better. To actually speak it out loud is actually quite a big step to take, to say the words, I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally. You can just say those words inside of your mind. You don't have to look at yourself. I think looking at yourself can be quite kind of intense when you create those kinds of statements. But
Okay.
what happens in the end is that you can do it anyway. You can just put your hand on your chest, and then you know and feel that those words and that
Okay.
feeling inside of you. And it
Okay.
sounds like such a simple thing to do. It sounds like such a basic thing to do. But when you step into opening your heart to yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself, then you're able to open a connection which allows you to connect with your guardian angel.
So when you say those words, for instance, the I love you and everything that you just said, are you
Yeah.
saying that to yourself or are you saying that to your guardian angel?
Now, that's another great question. To begin with, it's to yourself, very much to yourself.
Okay.
It's accepting yourself, loving yourself unconditionally for all that you are, for all the mistakes that you've made, for all the times you've fallen off the wagon with your diet regime, for
Mhm.
all the things that you regret, for all the things that you feel embarrassed or humiliated about, for all the things that you think you could have done better. It's about loving and accepting yourself unconditionally. But then it does become about, I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. It does become a statement that you express to your guardian angel. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Now, also earlier you talked about your life's purpose, and I'm
Mm.
sure we're going to get into meditation and weight loss in just a second. This is so fascinating to me. How does a person know what their life purpose is? And I bring this up because I actually had this conversation with somebody a few weeks ago. I don't know too many people that know what their life purpose is, if that makes sense.
It does. And you see it, don't you? You see people living lives which are unfulfilling to them. You see people living a life which is kind of, you know, automatic, living a life which is dictated to them. And living your life purpose starts really young, and it's something that we forget and we kind of pass through very quickly. Purpose is about something which is that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, something that you naturally lends itself to you and who you are. So there are certain characteristics that you have, certain traits that you have, certain interests that you have, certain passions, certain things that you do that you just enjoy, that are a part of your overall purpose. And within key areas of your life, you will have aspects of life purpose which are unique to you.
Hmm.
And your guardian angel holds all of the energy of the strengths that you have come with as an individual, that once developed and once accepted can lead you towards living your true and full purpose. Ultimately, your purpose is about you coming here to become all that you've come to be, so that you can contribute positively to the expansion of the entire universe. So everybody has a unique purpose.
Hmm.
It's always fulfilling. It's always something that satisfies you. It's always something that is abundant. It's always something that brings wellness. It's always something that you love and enjoy. Now, that's not to say that there aren't challenges within what you love and enjoy.
Okay.
We can love and enjoy things, but we can reach a certain level of perhaps experience or understanding, and then we can choose not to go where it's harder, where we might find it more difficult. But we all have purpose. And once you understand what that is, and once you unlock the strengths that you have, which can lead you to that purpose, you stop struggling, you start gliding, you are able to feel the ease of being in life, which so many miss.
Hmm. that, that is fantastic. And folks, rewind the tape or whatever and listen to all that again because that was brilliant. I mean, I got to listen to that 4 or 5 times. That was fantastic. Wow. Because I, once again, as I said earlier, I talked to somebody about life's purpose the other day, a couple of weeks ago, matter of fact. And I don't know, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. I don't know if the path I'm on with the fitness and the health and the podcasting is my life's purpose. I enjoy doing it, of course, but is it something that's going to be sustainable for a long time? Because I never used to do this, if that makes
Mm,
sense. And,
yeah,
and until I got all the equipment, I said, well, I kind of enjoy this, but is it something that is my life purpose? I guess I got to figure that one out. That so.
yeah. I mean, your purpose is something that you enjoy, and your purpose is something which creates growth, personal and spiritual growth, if you like. It causes you to evolve as a person. It's interesting because often people expect for a linear path, like a straightforward, you do this and you do that, and you just follow this kind of like straight path forwards. But life purpose and developing purpose, I mean, I've been on a life purpose journey for since I was born, nearly 50 years ago. And that's something which has caused me to develop and grow and explore lots of different things, but all moving me towards becoming a wholer person, all moving me towards discovering things which, so for example, you doing your podcast, which
Mhm.
you're excellent at, you really inspiring people to focus on their health and fitness, and through your own experiences and your own journey, finding another way, in midlife, in our stage of life, to
Mhm.
really be fit and to be well, is something which is part of your purpose. And as you explore that more fully, you connect with people that you wouldn't otherwise have connected with. Ideas will occur to you that you wouldn't otherwise have had. You'll be having activities and doing things which you never otherwise would have learned. And if you look at it in a moment in time, it can sometimes appear as though, is this the thing? But if you look at all of the layers of growth, if you look at all the things you've had to learn, all the things you've had to do, all of the expansion that's happened for you, it's
Mhm.
part of the bigger picture. But in terms of your overall purpose, your guardian angel is the energy, the guide to connect with, to provide you with that. Sometimes it's validation and confirmation. So, for example, sometimes just doubting what you do is the thing that you're supposed to do can be the thing that's the block that prevents you from fully being successful in it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, absolutely it does.
And if you have a validation that this is what you are to do, then you kind of let go of all of those blocks. You let go of all of those worries and thoughts and things which were kind of troubling you and eating away at you in the in-between times. And you give yourself fully to knowing that you're here to be a successful podcaster, knowing that you're here to help millions of people to transform their lives through being fit, and the strategies that you share with people. So do you see what I mean by that? It's the giving yourself fully to the thing that you love to do without having thoughts in terms of, I better not in case it doesn't work out, or what about if I don't reach my expectations around this. Once you have confirmation, you can let go of all of those things and you can just get on with succeeding.
Wow. That's brilliant. Oh my gosh. So okay. And I'm going to jump around a little bit here because this has been fantastic. But I want to get to the weight loss and meditation. So
Yeah.
after going through all this, I can't help but think back of my past. And I was a gym rat, as the terminology is. I had a bunch of musclehead friends. And if we started talking about guardian angels and meditation, and everything else in the gym, we would think the guy is just off his rocker. First of
Yeah.
all, do
Yeah.
you run across that kind of person very often?
Less and less, interestingly.
Okay.
I think that people are really starting to come round to understanding a different approach to things. I think that really, to be honest, over the last kind of like even like 2 or 3 years, people have started to question things. People have started to become open to different ways. And the opinions of others have become less important, or we've had experiences where the opinions of others have been different to our own opinions in the most recent times that we've lived through. And
Mhm.
so a sense of what feels right to you, a sense of authentically being yourself, is coming much more to the fore. But opinions of others is one of the massive mind blocks that gets in the way of people succeeding in all areas of life.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So I brought up the meditation thing,
Yeah.
and the more I'm doing these type of podcasts, the videos, and being in this industry, the more open I am to different kinds of I guess, physical fitness, if that's even the way I'm thinking of it here. Meditation to me is a form of physical fitness. Even though you're not pumping iron, lifting weights, running a marathon, you're doing something with your body to make it better, to make it good. If that, I mean, I know that's not proper English, but to make to improve it. But a lot of
Absolutely.
people don't understand, and I'm still one of them. I'll admit this, what meditation is and how does one meditate. And before you answer that, I I say this all the time. When people try to explain it to me it's the same as sleeping, because
Yeah.
I would fall asleep if I do what they want me to do with meditation. So how does a person meditate, or if that's too broad, I understand, because it's, from what I understand, there's several different forms of meditation. That,
Yeah,
so when
that's right.
it comes to you that doesn't know what meditation is or has never done it, how do you, I guess, define it or have them experience some sort of meditation?
Great. That's absolutely fantastic. So, first of all, if I may, just talk a little bit about that physical change that happens in your body through meditation. You said you understand it to be like another form of physical kind of exercise, of
Yes.
physical, yeah. So, when there's been scientific studies to prove that when you meditate, and we'll talk about the different types in a minute, but when you meditate, something happens in your mind. Your neural pathways, um, your brain begins to hum. You experience good feelings. Your neural pathways light up, and in often cases, new neural pathways are created. There's a calmness that happens. I mean, we all feel calmer once we've kind of got slowed our thoughts down, and kind of a bit like you say, if you've been sleeping, you feel calmer after a sleep because you've just not been thinking, you've just been calmer, you've been in a more grounded, quiet, peaceful state. So, from that point of view, it creates a good mindset, creates a good headspace. And I think that so much of what we do in life, when we approach it in the right headspace and from the right place, can be so much more successful than when we kind of like just either just keep trying to go, 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 go without kind of like resting, or when we approach situations with the wrong thoughts, or trying to get everything done quickly, things tend to take longer. So from a like a neurological point of view, the
Mm.
science really supports that. But something else happens inside of your physical body when you connect with energy. I don't know whether you've ever seen, there's a guy, and I really wish I could remember his name. He's a Japanese guy, and he took photographs of water when you projected certain emotions to it. He took photographs of water when you projected peace to it, and photographs of water and like the fragments, the formation of the water molecules when you projected anger at it. And the two images are completely different. And when
Wow.
you think that we are created of water, those feelings, that energy, those vibrations create completely different reactions inside of our body. And what I see in the meditation that I do, which is guided meditation, is that people's physical bodies change, not only because their minds are calmer afterwards and they make different choices afterwards. In fact, there was one lady who I worked with who said, after the meditation, I realized that I did not want the candy. She was tired, she was
Mhm.
stressed. She was actually a doctor, and she had this piece of candy on her desk in front of her. And we can all relate to that, can't we? Like, I'm
Oh, yeah.
tired, I just need something to get me through. And she followed the guided meditation, and she came back round. She was like, I just don't need the candy. I just needed to just be. I needed that stillness, that peace. Because when your emotions are calm and when your physical body is experiencing that kind of energy, you are rejuvenated. And that's why with meditation, I see as a byproduct so much weight loss, because you're calm, your body is impacted, your mind is being reprogrammed, but those moments when you would react, you're not. And you think of how many chocolate bars or candy bars you would avoid, or the cake, or whatever it is that you reach for when you're tired or when you're stressed. By feeling calm, then it doesn't take long to see how, just on a calorie level, there's a reduction in what goes in and therefore what your body does with it.
So you're saying, if I understand this correctly, that meditation is one of the results of meditating is possibly weight loss, just for the fact that you're calmer, less stress, and the binge eating doesn't happen. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
understanding?
absolutely. The binge eating doesn't happen and your body changes. I'll tell you, it wasn't something that I created my work for at all. It's an actual interesting byproduct that I've observed, because part of what I do in my program is I teach people how to communicate with their guardian angels. And part of the way that I do that is through meditations. And the meditations are, a new meditation is experienced once a month over the course of a whole year. And I have one-to-one sessions with people. So I see them and I see this change happen. And another thing that I do inside of my work is I have a weekly, it's a piece of software called Video Ask. So every week I'll send my clients a video and I'll ask them a question and they'll send me a video back. And it's a really lovely way of communicating. And I can see these videos over time because they go back over like 52 weeks.
Okay.
And I see them looking younger. I see them looking leaner. They report to me that they've changed the way they want to eat. They report to me that they're feeling different about what they want to eat and the way that they're eating. And that love of self, kind of like looping back around to what we talked about before, love of self and acceptance of self doesn't open you up to behaving in ways which are, because some people would worry, if I love and accept myself, then that's just going to give me the green light to just stuff my face with things that I should not be stuffing my face with. That's just going to be like, if I
Yeah.
love and accept myself, then that's just going to be like the green light to open the floodgates, like I can have whatever I want. And it's this idea of the way that we learn. Some people believe that, or we're taught that we learn with a stick. We learn through threats of punishment, through the consequences, through being really hard on yourself and looking in the mirror and thinking how rubbish you look. But
Mhm.
in my experience, the way we learn is by loving ourselves and forgiving ourselves, but not in a way which excuses or encourages us or gives us the green light to repeat those behaviors, but allows us to let go. Because when you really do love yourself, truly love yourself, when you do truly accept yourself, this feeling of forcing and pushing and resistance that can happen where you have to starve yourself and not have the thing that you want goes. And it's so fascinating to me how bodies change when that occurs.
Wow. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Now, Roz, I only asked for a half hour of your time, and we're coming up on that here in a second. But tell us about your book, Channel of Clarity. What's that
Yes.
about? And and where can people get it? Well, they can get it at topfitnessstrategies.com/charity. Clarity, excuse me, Clarity. But tell us about the book, Channel of Clarity.
So Channel of Clarity was written with my guardian angel Tressarn, and it shows you how you can communicate with your guardian angel so that you can live your true purpose. It takes you through the blocks and barriers that get in the way of many people living their true life purpose. It takes you through some really great quizzes and exercise which will help to identify key areas that are holding you back. It also takes you through an explanation as to guardian angels, what they look like, the key strengths that I talked about earlier on, and the colors, and which strengths and colors you're most likely to have through quizzes that are inside, and ultimately takes you through the first stage, the foundation of communicating with your guardian angel through the Channel of Clarity method. And I've shared this with hundreds and hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you've never channeled before, even if you didn't know you had a guardian angel, people are channeling their guardian angels and people are living their true purpose. It's been explained in a way which, people can really access no matter where they're coming at it from. And it's been a book that's shared. Yeah, I've created a link for your audience. They can download it for just $1 and learn. Yeah, start learning straight away.
So this is an ebook thing, or is it a physical book? or both?
Yep, it's an ebook. Yep, the ebook is the digital book, which people can download through you, and it's
Yep.
also on Amazon. So if you did want a physical copy, then you can get a physical copy on Amazon too. And it's called the Channel of Clarity Method.com. And if you Google me, Roz Place, then you'll be able to see it there, and also find out about the other things that I do.
Fantastic. Also, I have the link in the show notes to check it out. It's topfitnessstrategies.com/clarity. And if you're driving right now and you don't want to write it down, no problem. You can always send me a message. I get it to Roz. Not a problem. We can get you hooked up with it. But this is fantastic. Roz, what about your podcast and your YouTube channel? Why don't you tell us where the people can find that?
Yeah, so YouTube channel is the Guardian Angel channel. And I've got loads of videos on there. I've got meditations on there that you can enjoy. I've got spiritual development, mini courses, lots of work on angels. It's a real lovely place to go, and you'll find out all the work that I do there. My podcast is coming. I'm a little slower than you, Andrew, on getting my podcast up and running, but it's definitely something that I'm going to be focusing on later this year. But the Guardian Angel channel, you'll find loads of meditations in there. It's just there for you to enjoy and benefit from.
Well, technically, the Guardian Angel channel on YouTube is a podcast. It's just a video podcast. So, I mean, you can say I got a podcast. It's a video podcast. I've watched a few of them. Fantastic, and your voice is fantastic. I can listen to you all day long. It's so gentle, enthusing. Is enthusing the right word? Yeah, gentle, enthusing, and it just a pleasant voice to listen to. So appreciate that from you. And Roz, this has been fantastic. And I'm sure we could talk about this for hours. I mean, because me being a novice and you being a super duper pro with this, I had to have all the basic questions, and the way you're presenting it and describing it and presenting it to me and everybody else is great. So thank you again for being here. Any parting words you'd like to give everybody?
Yeah, I would just love to say that you don't need to struggle, and that there is help out there, and that I spent many years struggling, and that there is help available to you, and your guardian angel can make life easy for you. So connect with your guardian angel. Remember your hands on your chest. I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And even just by putting your hand on your chest, you'll start that process of loving yourself and opening yourself to connecting with your guardian angel.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here. And the folks listening for the first time, and you see Top Fitness Strategies, as you can tell, it's not all about working out. There's a lot more to it than this health and fitness stuff than lifting a piece of chrome somewhere. All right. So Roz, thank you for being here. And to check her out at topfitnessstrategies.com/clarity, or go to the Guardian Angel channel on YouTube and find her. And remember to get the book, Channel of Clarity. Okay. So I'll stop it here. Roz, thank you for being my guest today. And hopefully we can do this in the future again to get more in depth with this stuff. So
thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Fantastic. Okay, folks, I'm Andrew, Top Fitness Strategies. I am the face who runs the place. And so until next time, this is Roz and Andrew. Ciao.